The New York Yankees are American League champions for the first time since 2009. Apologies in advance for how late this video is, but I'm sorry, folks. I couldn't record a normal reaction video after what happened. I just had to sit back and just embrace it all. Just just sit there and marvel at what had happened, at the Yankees having pulled this off, winning the American League pennant in the most spectacular fashion as Mr. Juan Soto, pay the man all the money, blank check and all, hits a 3-run home run to win it for the Yankees here in Game 5. And I'm just trying to think about just everything that there's so many things that are popping through my head right now. I guess I should start with the game and then I'll get to my big picture thoughts. The Yankees probably this should have been wrapped up a lot earlier in the game if they hadn't decided to send Glaber in the first inning. If they don't send Glaber there, it hit me. And it was a great relay, but probably with Soto and Judge, with Judge and Stanton coming up, you probably just want to sit there and take the walk, or just probably just leave him at third. But if they do that, the Yankees score 2 runs at least in that inning, and then we don't have to worry about any of this. But whatever. That happens. Guardians get a couple runs later in the second and fifth inning. Rodon, just had an okay game, 4 2/3, 2 earned runs. All I ask in the Yankees, once again, I ask in the World Series, can we get a pitcher that goes 7? I'll take 6 at this point. Can we get a 6th inning outing from somebody? Because it seems like we're always just rushing to get to the pen. The pen, though, was great today, so that was at least a positive takeaway. But you had the Guardians score their runs in the second and fifth inning. I saw some Yankee fans ready to complain and say, "Well, we'll win it in New York on Monday." But the Yankees persisted. The Yankees found a way. First of all, in the 6th inning, after Glaber gets on base on the single, you had, and then Soto gets a single, and then it's a ground into a double play by Judge, which is one of many. So Glaber's at third, Soto and Judge are out at second and first. But Giancarlo Stanton comes through in a huge spot, in a huge moment. He lines one into left center. I even told my dad as we were watching, I'm like, Stanton's going to hit a home run here. Because he's just done that so many times this postseason. How many times? Talk about a guy who is worth every penny of his contract. Just on how big he's shown up in these big moments. In these postseason moments, these clutch moments, he's shown up every time, it seems like. 2-run home run, ties the game at 2. After that, it was just, can we get another run, please? And can the bullpen hold up? And the bullpen held up. 6th inning, Tim Hill comes in and gets Jimenez to ground into a double play. 7th inning, Austin Wells goes into a double play, kind of ruins that. But then in the 7th, we ground into another, Guardians ground into another double play, Stephen Kwan. Then Jake Cousins comes in, replaces Hill. He strikes out Manzardo. 8th inning, it's 1-2-3. 8th inning for the Guardians. 1-2 walk of Josh Naylor, 3. 3 big strikeouts there by Cousins. 9th inning, Jazz single, Oswaldo force out. Luke Weaver comes in. I'm nervous. I'm thinking, is he back? Oh, we are so back because Weaver, with a strikeout and 2 grounds out, sends us into the 10th. And at this point, I'm thinking we have to score because I don't know if Weaver can go a second inning. And if not, who do we get out there for the 11th? Do we bring Stroman up there? What do we do? And in the 10th inning, we get a walk from Wells. Then we got a Volpe line out. We got a Wells walk. And then this may have been karma by the baseball gods because this 100% should have been ground into a double play and the inning should have been over and we should have gone to the bottom of the 10th. But Brian Riccio just cannot come up with it. He cannot come up with the ball. It seemed like karma for all the times that we grounded into a double play this year. All the times that we, just could not get out of our own way. We have a runner on and we just ground into a double play like we always do. For once, the baseball gods are smiling on us and said, you know what, this time it won't happen. And by the way, Riccio is the sickest man in America right now. He is just beside himself right now, thinking that he cost this team the game and maybe the series. I mean, I don't think that's everything, but that era, it killed him. It killed him. It really, the things may have been different. Maybe the Yankees, maybe it would have been 6-7. I still think Yankees win the series, but you have that back. You have that thought in your mind of what could have been. So I do feel bad for him, but it worked to our advantage. And then Kluber strikes out. And then with 2 on, Juan Soto comes through. Dominguez and Verdugo on the bases. Domingo pinch hit for Wells. Soto hits one. I wasn't sure if it was gone, but it carried and carried and carried, and it was out. And the New York Yankees had a 3-run lead, 5-2 lead. At this point, we all know what's going to happen. We know that Weaver's going to go in and just shut them down. Took a little while. Manzardo singled. But Ramirez lined out. And then Lane Thomas flew out to Soto. Who else? And the New York Yankees, American League champions. An incredible, incredible victory. Giancarlo Stanton, the MVP, well deserved. And now just big picture thoughts here. One, the fact that this team made it to the World Series after a terrible summer. There was a stretch here in the season where it looked like this team was falling apart and nothing was going right for them. Somehow, they bounced back, part thanks to the Jazz, in part thanks to, I got to admit, the manager, keeping his cool. He's done a great job this postseason. We got to give him credit. Maybe he's overused the bullpen too long, but for the most part, he's done pretty well with the lineup and everything. The guys have come through. And just credit to this team for playing so much better, for all these guys stepping up. For Soto, even though Judge hasn't been great, he has been the leader of this team, so we have to give him something like that. Stan, who's been unbelievable. Jazz even got a hit late in this game. Volpe getting on base a million times. Rizzo getting a hit. It was great to see him out there. Gleyber with 2 hits tonight. He's looked better. The bullpen, for the most part, has been incredible. So many things that have come through and have helped this team get to this point. And look, I'm sure we're going to get criticism of, you shouldn't be celebrating. You should have gotten here. I get that. This was the easiest path, especially after the Astros went out and after the Orioles went out. But you know what? Damn it. It still was not easy because the Guardians, credit to the Guardians for making it so difficult. The Guardians played so well. They played way better than I thought they would. And they made it tough those 3 games in Cleveland. This was a boring series, the first 2 games in New York. It goes to Cleveland and everything hits the fan. 3 epic games in a row. 3 games decided in the 9th inning or later. 3. After 2 just snooze fest games in which the Yankees were pretty much in control. All 3 wild, edge of your seat, down to the last out games. So that was awesome. Great baseball. Terrific. Credit to the Guardians there for fighting. I'm sorry that we keep beating you, but you're just the team that happens to be in the way. Also thinking as a fan, I have not since the Giants won their second Super Bowl of the Eli era in Super Bowl 46. Not since then have I felt this excited as a New York sports fan. I'm not a Mets fan, so I didn't get to experience, that whole thing, but you think about basketball, the Knicks are getting better. They've had some good moments, but nothing like this. The Nets, we thought we were going to have a moment like this. They didn't come through. I think it's Milwaukee in 2021. Jets and Giants, for the most part, have been pitiful since then. Giants had a good season a couple years ago, but no Super Bowl appearance. I mentioned the Mets. The Rangers, I'm not a huge hockey fan, but I do get into it. And so, seeing the Devils in the Stanley Cup, seeing the Rangers in the Stanley Cup, that was cool. But again, nothing like this. You've seen Rutgers make March Madness. I guess this passes Rutgers winning a game in March Madness back in 2021. This passes that as the best moment in the last decade for me as a sports fan. Since that Giants Super Bowl, this is the best moment as a New York sports fan. Maybe the Liberty winning the WNBA Finals in a couple days will match. All right, fine. It passes. What was also top? NYCFC, who I haven't watched a game of all year, winning the MLS Cup, winning the MLS Final, or whatever. That was one of the. It's been a rough decade for New York sports, but today, in this moment, it was great. And just thinking back to the last 15 years, look, I'm not gonna act like it's the Cubs drought or the Indians Guardians drought, but for a Yankee fan, we expect better. We expect the title. We expect this team to come through eventually. We don't think it's gonna be 15 years without a title. It took a while, but this team, just the difficulties: losing to the Rangers in 10, losing to the Tigers in 11, getting swept by the Tigers in 12. The Jeter breaks his ankle, A-Rod getting benched in that series. The 13-14, all of this, missing the playoffs. A-Rod, all of his craziness. Jeter retires, Pettit retires, Mo retires, A-Rod eventually retires. 15, we make the playoffs. We lose in the wild card game to the Astros. That team was old. We barely got by. 16, we finally tear the team down, but we start to rebuild. For A-Rod retires. 17, we have this great run, great young guys. We come back from Cleveland. We beat them in 5. We're 1 game away from going to the World Series against the Astros, but the Astros were the better team. I don't care what anyone says about trash cans. They were the better team. They beat us in 7. 18, the devastating loss to the Red Sox. Brock Holt, of all people, hitting a cycle. 19, another terrible loss to the Astros. The bunch of savages could not close the deal, losing game 2 and game 6 in brutal fashion. 20, Mike Brousseau hits off Chapman. Second year Chapman gives up a home run in a row. Rays beat us in that series. 21, really troubling, difficult season for us. We barely get into the playoffs. We lose to the Red Sox in the wild card game. 2022, we have a great start to the season. We falter near the end. We get swept by the Astros in just humiliating fashion. Last year, just a dreadful, dreadful season, missing the playoffs entirely. And then this year, getting Soto. The hot start, fade in the summer. We somehow late in the season we get our groove back. We beat the Royals in 4. And then in this series, beating the Guardians in 5. It's been a long, bumpy, windy road to get back to the World Series, to get back to where we feel like we belong every year. And now we've gotten there. We've finally gotten back. We are finally back in the World Series. And I'll say this, and some might disagree with me, I don't care. No matter what happens, I'm proud of this team. Even if we lose to the Dodgers. Okay, here's the thing. If we lose to the Dodgers, I'll be okay. Because it's like we lost to arguably a better team. If we lose to the Mets, I can't live with that. Because I cannot deal with Mets fans telling me, no, we beat you. So if we face the Dodgers and lose them, I'm okay with that. Depends actually on how we lose. If we get blown out in 4, maybe not. But if we lose to the Mets, that's the end of me. That's my 13th reason. We cannot afford that to happen. So hopefully that will not happen. Hopefully the Dodgers and Mets will beat each other up in the next 2 games, and hopefully we'll get a team not running on all cylinders on Friday when we go out to either LA or stay back here in the Bronx. We'll have to wait and see. But the New York Yankees, despite troubles in the summer, despite what seems like an idiot manager, an idiot GM, or a GM that's lost his prime, I can't say that anymore. They have led this team to the World Series and a great group of guys: Soto, Judge, Stanton, Wells, even though he's been bad this postseason, Chisholm, Volpe, Rizzo, all these guys. They've led us. And then you look at the pitching as well with Cole and Rodon and Cortez and Heel. Bullpen of Weaver, Canley, everybody, Holmes, even. This group is heading to the World Series. Incredible to think about. I'm so happy right now. I'm so proud of this team. I haven't been this proud as a Yankee fan in a long, long time. I haven't been this happy as a Yankee fan in a long, long time. But a long time coming. I'm glad we've gotten here. And now 4 more wins to number 28. 4 to go. We'll be against the Dodgers. We'll be against the Mets. We'll even get those 4 wins at all. Stay tuned. Find out together. That's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to see, make sure you subscribe down below. I'll be back Friday with a recap to Game 1 of the World Series. See you then. Take care and God bless.